Hey pros, Crystal here from Elite Hair Care USA. So today we're working with a client who came in for a retouch relaxer. Now prior to her coming in for the retouch, she did stress that she had some breakage right above or near her occipital bone, and it kind of protruded into the nape area. Now that area is slightly shorter, but the good thing about today is that we still have to trim her, and in the respects of her trim, it actually fell right at the line of where her hair broke off in the nape. So what I'm doing is just going through and trimming her as I normally would. Now, of course, your girl knows the difference between a trim and a cut. I want you guys to comment down below and tell me if you've ever had a situation where you go in for a trim and you end up with a haircut and not by choice, because I know there are tons of stylists that do that out there. Now for me, I definitely love cutting, but I also have respect for my clients who definitely only want a trim. Now, with me talking about trimming, let's talk a little bit about the trim schedule, because a lot of you don't even know what the trim schedule really is. Now, regardless if you are natural or relaxed, trimming is super important because that is going to really ensure the health of your hair. That is actually one of the smallest but most impactful things that you can do to your hair in the phase of grow out or just keeping your hair maintained and healthy. Now, trimming is going to address what we call split ends. And a lot of people don't know that split ends actually start at the end of the hair, but they split the actual strand all the way up to the root. So if they're not maintained or controlled, just like weeds, then they will start to spread in different places and they start to kill follicles that were alive. They start to leave the hair feeling super dry. You notice that your ends look extremely straggly. You notice that your hair is not holding any forms of moisture. You use 1 million of your Elite hair care products and your hair is still not acting right, all because those split ends have not been maintained. Now, I want you to watch this video all the way through the end, because at the end of the video, I am going to drop a chart that you are able to screenshot that shows you your traditional trim schedule, whether you be natural or relaxed. Now, for my relaxed babies, just keep in mind, you are going to trim a little more often than natural hair people. And if you have fine textured hair, you will also notice that you do have more split ends, or you deal with split ends a lot more than those who are medium or coarse textured. Let's talk a little bit about porosity, because porosity can also affect the splitting or maintenance of your hair. High porosity hair does tend to have more split ends than low porosity hair. High porosity hair is traditionally hair that is chemically processed, such as relaxers or blowouts, or whichever one of those different chemical treatments you want to call it. And then, of course, low porosity hair, which typically is your natural hair, not always 100%. But low porosity hair traditionally doesn't deal with as many split ends, but splitting is just as easy no matter your type. Now, there is a myth that I did want to definitely address in this video. For those of you that believe that if you don't trim your hair, it's going to make your hair nice and long and it's going to protect the length, that is 100% incorrect. That is false. Trimming actually helps you to maintain healthy length. Whereas if you continue to allow these split ends to manifest, it is literally going to leave you in a place where you have straggly ends. You notice that your ends are a lot thinner than the mid shaft and the root. And you're going to also notice that your hair is more lackluster or dull. So remember, split ends is not true length. Okay, and eventually those ends will begin to break, or you'll start to suffer a lot more shedding or breakage all in the same time. Now, of course, if you're new here and you haven't already done so, go and check out my YouTube channel for more tips and tricks, as well as product knowledge or information. Our YouTube is Elite Hair Care USA. And of course, if you haven't already started to follow us on Instagram, make sure you go and hit that follow button so that you can be privy to all the tips and pro tips and tips. I said it 3 times. Tips and tricks that we like to share. Now, before I put her under the dryer, I am going to use some of our Shield Heat and Humidity Protectant Spray. Now, this is a water-based heat protectant spray that you can utilize before you blow dry your hair or before you go under the dryer. This is going to help to protect the hair from your heat elements or your hot tools, whether it be your Smooth by EHC flat iron or your Platinum Turbo Elite blow dryer. Any type of heat, it is going to help to protect you up to 425 degrees, but it is extremely lightweight, unlike a lot of others on the market where they are more oil-based. We pride ourselves on offering it as a water base so that it's nice and light on the hair itself and it doesn't weigh your hair down. So to finish off the process, I am going to use some of our Elite Silk Wrap Foam. This foam can be used no matter if you are natural or relaxed. It's going to give you a good hold but not leave the hair tacky or ashy or even flaky. And that's another thing that we pride ourselves on, because definitely having a good wrap foam is super important no matter if you're natural or relaxed. Now again, as a reminder, if you haven't already, hit that heart button, show us some love, and don't forget to share this video with your family and friends by simply clicking that share button or even saving us in your archives. And of course, like I said, watch to the end to get that coupon code and also the trim schedule, and visit us on EliteHairCareUSA.com for all of your hair care and hair tool needs. Bye.